Welcome to the Gadget Show.
And there's some good news and some bad news. And the bad news is that this is the last show in this series of the Gadget Show.
Yeah, but the good news is we've had some good times, yeah?
Yeah.
It's been a great series packed full of some stupendous technology. And so this is a celebratory retrospective of the cornucopia of gadget goodness that is the Gadget Show.
Jace?
Yeah?
You using big words again.
No, all I mean is the bestest bits.
Oh, right, yeah, bestest.
Seeing as we're talking about bestest, how about taking a look at Otis and my bestest bits?
Yes.
Guys, there actually is no such word as bestest.
She's right, you know. It's bestestest.
This series, Polly and I have tried, tested, and even built some truly remarkable tech. I built a gravity racer. Come on, and went head-to-head against an actual Lotus Elise on one of Germany's most treacherous roads.
Really want to win this.
I headed off to the States with my swimming cosy to check out some remarkable underwater technology. The Hydrobob is a cross between a scooter and a diving bell. It's a sort of 21st century Segway for the sea, and I loved it.
I got my hands on the latest performance clothing and went up against Jason in our gadget triathlon and won.
And I went to war. Robot war, against an army of paintballers with the ultimate paintball robot Securobot, and managed to reduce the advancing army of paintballers to quivering wrecks.
The most fun we had with tech was at this year's Gadget Show Live. We had to put on a gadget-filled music performance for 75,000 people in our Super Theatre show, and we had a blast.
But our standout moment from this series was when we were in South Africa on our film and photography challenge.
For our final assignment in South Africa, Polly and I were sent to opposite ends of the country. The only brief we'd been given was that we'd be testing action cameras. I ended up in sleepy Gansby on the Western Cape.
Well, I was taken to a stretch of road in, well, the middle of nowhere. Little did we know, things were about to get a lot more extreme, as these were the locations for two of the most fear-inducing challenges imaginable.
Dear Otis,
Dear Polly,
Today you are going
bungee jumping.
shark cage diving.
No.
Your mission is to stay calm
Stay calm. How am I supposed to stay calm?
and make the best video recording.
Of your experience you can. Good luck.
Great white shark. You've seen Jaws? And you've seen things like When Great Whites Attack? Yeah. Kind of makes me not want to do it. However, I had no choice. Ready and waiting to introduce me to South Africa's finest great white sharks was local legend Brian McFarlane. How safe is it?
You know, it's as safe as anything is safe. But the government allows us to lose 3 tourists every year. In fact, we're coming to the end of the year and we haven't lost any, so it's about as safe as it gets.
Okay, well, if you're going to lose 3 tourists today, it will be cameras, sound, and director.
Meanwhile, I was about to see my fate.
That's ridiculous. Have you seen how far down that goes?
I was at the infamous Blue Crans Bridge, home to the world's 3rd highest bungee jump, a staggering 216-metre drop with 5 seconds of terrifying freefall.
Oh my word.
After a nervous, rather bumpy ride out to sea, we passed the amazing Seal Island. Then we reached the ominously named Shark Alley. The time has come. And it wasn't long before we had company. I am not getting in the cage. Joke's on you, I'm not getting in there. Well, okay, I was. And to document every second, I'd be wearing this liquid image scuba video mask and holding this waterproof Panasonic FT2 digital camera, both of which offer 720p HD video recording.
To film my jump, I had a GoPro HD Hero, a tiny minicam which can film in 720, 960 or 1080p resolution. Plus, I had an ingenious cookie belly mount to attach it to, and it got its first test on the petrifying open walkway leading to the jump site.
This is a long, long way down.
Back in Gansby, I had gingerly descended into the cage, entering the shark's murky world. Okay, bring on the sharks, boys! With just 2 meters of visibility, my cameras were really up against it. What we really want, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is a shot of the shark coming right up to camera. In intelligent auto video mode, the Panasonic FT2, with its 4.6 times optical zoom, was coping pretty well. I opted to film in the underwater shooting setting, which did a great job of capturing sharks at close quarters. Brilliant! However, the real star was the liquid image mask. With the lens positioned between my eyes, they shot exactly what I saw, and they bettered the FT2's colour quality and image clarity, providing near-professional quality shark footage. That came right up close to the cage, and it nudged it with its tail.
Well done, I'm very proud of you.
I can only hope that what I have on here, or on here, is better than what Pollyanna's got. Here we go.
On Bluecrans Bridge, the time had finally arrived. I was absolutely petrified.
That is a long way down.
But there was no going back.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
3, 2, 1, bungee!
It was all over in a blurry 5 seconds, but I loved every bit of it. And my footage was brilliant. The cookie belly mount stayed rock solid throughout, allowing the GoPro's really wide-angle lens to capture me and my surroundings in stunning quality.
Are you seriously? You're not going to beat this. I can tell you now.
Oh, that is the perfect way to test a GoPro, isn't
Don't
it?
you think? I love that jump. It's stealing the second time. It's amazing. But I'm not forgetting about
Do you
my
know what
friend
I mean?
over there.
Someone went underwater.
With sharks.
With sharks.
Can I just ask you,
Thank
good
you.
memories or bad memories, though?
Good memories.
Liar.
And the amazing thing is that these incredible gadget tests are just the mere starter for the main course we've got coming at you in this Best of Gadget Show series.
Welcome back to our best of the very best bits from the best ever series of the Gadget Show. And right now I want to talk to you about my favourite tech from the last 16 weeks. Over that time, I've managed to get close up and personal with a whole range of the latest and best gadgets. Everything from tablets and robotic vacuum cleaners through to digital SLR cameras and bread makers. But what stood out enough to make it into my top 5 favourite tech from the series? At 5, it's the time I volunteered my dear old mum to help me test Freeview HD boxes. Now we've got 3 boxes. They've got very similar spec, and unlike your present box, they're all high definition and you can record on them.
I often feel the need to record a programme.
She spent a couple of days living with each of the 3 boxes I'd brought along and recorded a video diary for me so I could keep track of her opinions.
It would have been much easier to use if it had got a clearer remote.
After nearly a week of struggling to work her way around complicated electronic program guides and fiddling with slow remotes,
This is ridiculous.
we decided that the Humax was the best Freeview HD box on the market. At 4, it's the sports MP3 players that I tested with the help of Dance Troupe Flawless. Very impressive. The boys dance their socks off while testing the latest models, checking sound quality, usability, stability, and stay-on-ability. Which one do you think is best?
Blend 2.
Is that unanimous?
Yeah.
And it was the iPod Nano that danced its way to the top spot. At 3, it's my bread maker's test. I went to visit master baker Paul Hollywood to see if any of my machines could compete with his exclusive handiwork. Good. Once the 3 bread makers had finished their baking, we turned out the loaves, but Paul wasn't that impressed.
Feels very heavy.
Only the Panasonic produced a loaf he thought was okay.
That's not bad.
No, it isn't.
That toaster would imagine would be fantastic with lots of butter.
But how would my bread compare to his hand-baked loaves? We took them all to the local bakery and let the public decide.
The green one.
Like the green one, the green one. First one, the best.
Green one. The green one. The green one's mine. The rest of them are made by machines.
Overall, the public preferred Paul's bread, but it was the Panasonic that got the most votes for the bread makers. At number 2, it's my tech tracking test with Jessica Jane Clements.
I wasn't wiping your jacket at all, I was just picking your pockets. I got your dongle, your car keys and a camera.
While she tried to hustle me out of my gadgets right in front of my eyes, I managed to outfox her using the latest tracking tech.
Oh no, I've been completely busted here. She sent me a text. And the phone's locked as well.
Even when Jessica managed to take my laptop after I lost a bar bet, I tracked her down using the Prey software, and she finally admitted defeat.
Well deserved. Until next time, John.
But my favourite bit of tech testing this series has to be my visit to the Sky newsroom.
Hello, Martin. John, welcome. Welcome to Sky News.
I took the latest tablets along with me and enlisted the help of news anchor Martin Stanford to give them a thorough testing.
Let's have a go at this.
We examined web browsing capabilities, video playback and ease of use by producing a news report on the evolution of tablets.
Very good camera work, John, I think.
Oh, you do think so?
That's some of the best I've ever worked with.
And it was the iPad 2 that came out on top. The overall usability, screen and keyboard were very impressive. It's also worth bearing in mind that there are many more apps available for the iPad than the other 2 platforms. But, Apple be warned, the others are catching up. Now, the Gadget Show won't be back on TV until August, but there's no excuse for not getting yourself a regular fix of tech, because Gadget Show Web TV carries on broadcasting right through the summer. Head over to our website at channel5.com/Gadget Show for daily tech news and reviews. And just in case you missed any of the shows from this series, our massive video archive features all our recent challenges, full shows and web exclusives. It's live right now, and I'm in it a lot, so don't miss out.
OK, so next up, probably the most exciting moment from the last series.
Yeah. Come over here. Have a look at these. These represent the Guinness World Records that the Gadget Show owns. This one here is for the largest game of Tetris ever played.
Yeah, and this one here, this is the fastest speed in a water-powered jet car that Jason set.
Yep. So until a few weeks ago, we had 5, which I think you'll agree is a very good tally for any tech-based TV show.
But now we have 6.
Oh, yes.
And we all agree that this one is the most mind-blowingly impressive one of them all.
The details of our latest world record challenge were given to us in the form of a short video.
Okay, guys, we're going to play the 4th challenge.
Oh, yeah, OK.
Over the past few days, a crack team of software developers from Neurosky and design engineers from Loughborough University have built and programmed an interface capable of controlling a 50-ton lifting crane using only the power of the human brain. As a result, your challenge is to enter the record books by successfully operating the world's largest mind-controlled machine, using it to physically move a car across a warehouse.
That sounds awesome.
How cool is that? As night fell, we arrived at the huge 1,200 square metre warehouse where our record attempt would take place.
Look. It was like we'd walked onto a film set.
That's the crane.
That's the car.
But quickly, the scale of the challenge hit home.
So just a minute, we're going to lift this car?
Yeah, with that crane, using just the power of our minds.
Wow.
How on earth is that going to work?
To succeed in this challenge, teamwork was key. We needed one person directing the operation from a cherry picker, while the others each controlled one of the crane's 4 functions.
I nominate Suzi to boss this one because she is naturally organised.
I second that.
Organised.
You mean I'm quite good at directing?
That's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
I'm happy to
So you're in the
direct.
cherry picker?
Yeah, great, OK, I'll do that.
hot
That's
seat.
fine. So whatever I say, you guys have to do.
If it's OK with you guys, I'm going to go for forward and back.
Left and right, please.
And I'll control the up and down movement of the hoist, yep.
And I'll turn the magnet on and off.
Nice.
You've always had a sort of magnetism about you,
Yeah,
guys.
it's an attractive quality, some might say.
So while Suzi climbed aboard the cherry picker, the rest of us put on the ingenious Neurosky Mindwave headsets. These commercially available EEG biosensors pick up the mind's electrical impulses or brain waves, sending the data wirelessly to laptops that control the crane. Are you feeling focused?
Yes.
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 This is momentous. This has never been done before.
A first.
A first. We've got to do our very, very best with this.
Yep.
Suzi was in position up on high with a great view of proceedings, and her job to direct the magnet onto the target was crucial.
The thing is, if I'm 2 or 3 centimetres off, the whole thing won't work.
Gaz, our Guinness World Records adjudicator, had given our brain control interface the once-over and came back with his verdict.
We've inspected the system. You may begin the challenge.
I was first, and my job was to move the crane along the length of the warehouse towards Suzi until it was parallel with the car. First, I had to select the direction I wanted the crane to move by pushing a button. But then it was all down to mind power. As I concentrated my mind, the coloured bar on the screen slowly increased in size as the amount of beta brainwaves I was giving off rose.
It was a tense wait, but then Jason's concentration level rose high enough to turn the bar green, triggering an actuator to press the forward button on the crane's control panel. It was moving!
This was insane. Jason was controlling a 50-ton crane with his mind.
What's going on? Oh my God!
It's so amazing, Jason. Well done. That's brilliant. Keep it up.
Right. I quickly had to get back in the zone and take the crane forward to the end of the warehouse under Suzi's instruction.
Stop, Jason. Stop. Stop.
I'm a superhero!
I have the power to move things with my mind.
Right, that's part 1 over. Otis, Deley, are you ready?
I think so.
My job was to move the hoist right, to position the magnet directly above the car, and straight away I was in the groove.
Oh, that is so cool.
This might be the coolest thing we've ever done on the Gadget Show.
And after one last big effort, I'd maneuvered it into place.
And stop.
That was awesome, man. Is that perfect?
Yes, perfect.
I wouldn't want to say perfect.
And with that, it was over to Jon.
I'm very impressed so far, but I'm also now slightly nervous because it's my turn.
However, Jon was a natural. He had absolutely no trouble getting and staying concentrated.
Bang on! Bang on!
First time of asking.
Well done, Jon.
The pressure was now on me to power up the magnet before we could lift the car. But I was really struggling. I just couldn't keep the actuator lever down for the solid 4 seconds it needed to activate. My heart was pounding. But thankfully, the magnet eventually switched on and Suzi broke the good news.
Well done, Polly. That's on. Good girl.
Things were now about to get really exciting.
The magnet's on. The car is engaged. We now have to bring the car back.
But as Jon attempted to lift the car, the tension was unbearable.
Like Polly, I initially couldn't sustain any concentration.
Calm, Jon.
However, after a concerted effort, I did it!
The car was airborne. It was a truly magical sight.
OK, so next, Otis, you're up.
I now had to move the car left, but there was a big problem. I had completely lost my ability to focus.
Sorry, I've got performance anxiety.
And the harder I tried, the harder it became.
Seconds felt like minutes as the car hung motionless.
And concern was growing as our world record was seemingly hanging in the balance. Until...
I'd done it! I'd finally hit the coveted green zone, and I wasn't gonna let it slip.
Stop, Otis.
That is perfect, man. That is absolutely perfect.
Jason, are you ready?
It was now up to me to bring the car home, and I wasn't messing around.
Amazingly, without a single blip or hesitation, Jason brought the car back in style.
Oh my God.
He's only magnificent, that's what it is!
Whoa! Yeah! Yeah!
One, man.
Oh, I am the mine crane master.
To secure the world record, all that remained was for Jon to return the car to solid ground, which he did with aplomb.
Yes! Yes! We'd done it! Using the power of the concentrated mine, we controlled a 50-ton crane to pick up and transport a car, completing what could well be the most amazing Gadget Show challenge ever. So here we are.
Wow. A deeply intimidating display of mental agility and concentration. Excellent. You are Guinness World Record holders.
Yes! Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Now it's time for another top 5, but this one is a whole lot more dangerous than the one that Jon did before the break.
It is indeed. You see, this series, I joined a rather exclusive Gadget Show club that, quite frankly, I probably shouldn't be part of.
Yes, the Gadget Show Crash Club. You see, when we test transport tech on the Gadget Show, obviously, sometimes we like to go a little bit faster than sort of health and safety types might like.
Yes, this is just a fraction of the safety equipment that we have here at the Gadget Show for when we are testing transport tech and trying to stay as safe as possible.
Yes, as a wise man once said, accidents will happen. That was Elvis Costello. And so, to celebrate Polly's induction into the esteemed ranks of Gadget Show hard nuts, here's a top 5 of the best crashes we've had over the years on the Gadget Show.
And number 5 is my first ever crash, and the one that saw me finally become part of the Gadget Show team. I was racing Jason in our Gadget Rally, and I took an off-road buggy, more off-road than I planned. As I sped around the course and headed for the jump, I flew up into the air and managed to bring the buggy down on its side, ruining the front left tyre. I still managed to beat Jason, though. Result.
At number 4, it's Ortis and I going hell for leather on a BMX chariot trying to win a road trip.
Come on, Ortis! Come on, go!
We were up against Polly and Jason on a tandem BMX. And as they took the lead, controlling our unstable contraption proved a struggle, even with Suzi balancing it out. We desperately tried to catch up, but clipped the hedge, and our dream was over. We were off. The handlebar of the bike had got caught in the hedge, and both of us were thrown to the ground.
The race was over.
Hearing Ortis fall, we stopped and ran to help.
While Suzi had a couple of scratches, Ortis had to go to hospital for tests on his hand, so we had to stop the race.
Ortis was rushed to casualty where they'd found he'd sprained his thumb. Oh, shame.
At number 3, it's me and my jet luge. I tried to win the Gadget Show another world record and see if I could travel down a runway on a homemade jet luge at 114 miles an hour.
This is more power than one human being should ever be allowed to play with.
Halfway down and still gathering speed, I was feeling confident. Then, all hell broke loose. The luge veered violently to my left, and although I started braking, the damp surface meant I couldn't slow down quickly enough. I was a passenger doing over 100 miles an hour on an out-of-control skateboard. I crossed an aircraft taxiway, flew onto the grass, and 50 metres later eventually came to a halt.
At number 2, it's Jason and I on some racing bikes. We went head-to-head on a track on some of the most gadgety bikes around at the time, and as Jason started struggling with his gears, I thought I had it in the bag.
Gears are knackered.
But I misjudged the final corner and clipped Suzi's back tyre, taking us both down.
Check her head out, check her head out.
Despite Jason's pleas for them to check my head, the cameraman seemed more interested in checking my bum. Yeah, nice angle, guys.
But our number 1 crash of all time is when Suzi, again, rolled over in a quad bike.
So slippery, you wouldn't believe it!
We were racing the latest off-road vehicles in our wild challenge. The champion was the first past the post, and we all wanted to win.
But as I turned in, I hit some rough ground and lost control, leaving me on the floor with the quad bike about to roll on top of me.
Ow,
more like.
Can I just say, I didn't notice out of all the crashes we've just seen, none of them featured Mr. Jon Bentley.
No, because you haven't had any, have you?
No, that's true, but it might have something to do with another statistic, which is that I've never actually won a Gadget Show transport race.
Welcome back to the final part of the final show of this series.
Yep, and as a special treat, we've decided to put our best bits on show.
Yeah, we've already seen Otis and Polly's juiciest bits.
Yeah, and we now know what gets John excited.
Yes, and now it's our turn for the double entendres. And as I know you want a great finish to the show, I'm going to give you one.
I'm going to give you one too. Can we just stop this whole
already.
entendre thing? Yeah. What we're talking about is our special challenges, our favourite moments in challenges over the course of the last series. Some of which I won, and some of which Suzi won.
Yay! This series, Jason and I face some of our most demanding, frightening, and downright revealing experiences in 7 years of the Gadget Show.
It's so exhilarating! Go, go, go! I took on an incredibly competitive Polly. In our unbelievably muddy Gadget Rally. Finally, I've made it!
I became a real party girl.
It's quite Essex, isn't it?
Essex, this is.
When Otis and I both turned a manky old warehouse into 2 cutting-edge nightclubs.
I'm enjoying myself.
Excellent!
I had one of my worst experiences ever when I faced a road trip challenge against Suzi without a single gadget to help me. This is going to be hard. This is going to be really tough.
And I outgamed our gaming champion Jason by creating my HeliGolf browser game that was played over 15,000 times in just 1 month.
It's clearly addictive, it's bright, it's simple, it's everything I want.
But our favourite moment from this series has to be when we didn't even have to turn up for the studio.
Hello. Jason and Suzi, your challenge is to use technology to present the Gadget Show in the studio, without actually being in the studio.
Oh!
Get thinking. Good luck, and may the best virtual presenter win.
Thanks, Titan.
Thanks, Titan.
Hasta la vista, baby.
I immediately realised that the best way for me to win the challenge was to build a robot that could take my place in the Gadget Show studio.
I, on the other hand, decided on a completely different approach, inspired by the biggest movie of all time.
Avatar! No, I'm not going to paint myself blue, but that film was all about creating a clone, an avatar, so someone can be in 2 places at once. Now, if I can do that, if I can create a digital puppet, an avatar, then I can be in the studio without actually having to be in the studio.
To help me create my avatar, I enlisted the help of Ignition, one of Europe's leading virtual reality specialists. And boy, did they have the kit.
We have got our hands on this, the latest technology, and we are the first people to be able to use it. It's a huge light box with 14 cameras all the way around, each camera capturing a different angle of my body. As I move around, you'll see it capturing exactly what I'm doing.
Plus, and this is the big one, with this system, they can build me an avatar that I can control in real time.
I was certain that my idea of building a presenter bot was still the winning idea, and so I began with the most important part, the brain. And for that, I enlisted the help of artificial intelligence expert Rollo Carpenter. Rollo's the brains behind an AI program called Cleverbot that over the last 3 years has been learning how to chat online.
So you want a program, essentially, to chat as you, as if it was you.
Yeah, exactly. I need it to be as convincing as possible. Fortunately, Cleverbot learns from conversations, so it was all down to chat, and I'm pretty good at that.
So if you spend some time talking as yourself, and you made sure that everything you said to it would be something you might want it to say to other people, then it could learn to become a bit like you.
Next, I moved on to my second most important presenter asset, my face. And for that, I recruited movie special effects artists Tom and Siobhan Loughton.
Oh, it's really cold, man. Imagine cold liquid rubber being rubbed into your skin.
It took half an hour to apply and a further half an hour to set.
And there's your face.
It's perfect, isn't it?
Over the next few weeks, they worked round the clock to create a rubber mask and a fiberglass skull that had motors in it to move a mouth that would match the words coming out of an AI brain. Wow! Oh my... Look at... That's incredible! This had worked out better than I could ever have imagined. The latex head had been hand-painted with acrylics for perfect-looking skin. The eyes were made of glass, and all the hairs were human and attached one at a time. But there was no time to bask in the glory. We, or rather he, had a show to present, so I left him to it. Well, that's it. I've closed the doors on the studio. It's up to Robot Jace now.
Well, Jason could go home, I couldn't. From a motion capture studio in London, I'd be actually controlling my avatar throughout the recording.
That would be quite good on the sofa. Although, my arm's going to really ache if I do that.
But I'd had a lot of teething problems getting my avatar to appear in the Gadget Show studio because the amount of data involved was huge.
The problem was we were sending far too much information down the line. So what we're now going to do is just send my stick character
and feed that from Inition Studio in London up to the Gadget Show studio in Birmingham, where a computer would generate a fully rendered avatar, reducing the amount of data we needed to send by 90%.
That is the plan.
At this point, my confidence was sky high, until I saw Jason's bot.
Look at him! I was expecting a sort of metal Mickey with some glasses and a cap on, you know?
It's a good likeness. It's remarkably realistic.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I thought we got this in the can, and now I really think we're up against it.
And fixing my position on the sofa for the first link didn't go exactly how I'd imagined.
Don't do that with your leg. Oi, oi! Behave yourself. What are you doing? It's like Ghostbusters.
The crew were also having a few problems setting up my J-Bot's eyeline.
Call him, David.
That's as far as
Jason? Jason? But eventually we began, although Ortis found presenting with the new versions of Suzi and me a little freaky.
This is one of the weirdest experiences I've had as a presenter. Jason is here, but not here, although you could argue that's par for the course. And Suzi isn't here at all, apart from in voice and a CGI rendering, which is now touching me. Suzi, please, that's got to be the most disturbing thing. This is just all too weird for me.
Now, my J-Bot, as much as any computer can, thinks for itself, but the responses don't always make sense.
Now, the reason why we both look very different to normal is connected to the challenge. Isn't it, Jace?
Yes, please.
And action.
So we came up with a plan B. We got its robot brain creator to do a bit of extra programming. If at any time J-Bot heard an exact phrase from the script, he would respond with a scripted reply.
Hello and welcome to the Gadget Show.
Yeah, we've got possibly the most weird and exciting and unusual show ever for you this week.
It worked, but it took forever and played havoc with the schedule.
It's 1 o'clock. We've been here since 8 o'clock this morning, and we've literally done the opening link, and that's it.
And after a quick break for lunch, in which Jason didn't join the crew, he wasn't hungry for some reason, we continued as we started.
10, take 1.
Slowly.
Are you happy with the result?
You're very happy, aren't you?
Well, I'm happy, but the question is, are you happy?
I'm so happy.
Good.
You make me happy.
I make you happy. Well, you know, I do my best.
But Polly seemed impressed.
Oh, he's having a little look.
But it's just like him. In fact, I'd say he's even funnier.
So, despite my avatar having the shakes and uncontrollable limbs...
I need to be bigger.
And my robot's odd responses...
All right, Jason's meant to speak there, but I'll just take his line for you. As you've noticed by now...
I asked first.
What was that?
We ploughed on and eventually reached the final link of the show.
Oh, some of my absolute favourite tech ever, actually. I think.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. What about you, Robo Jason? Did you enjoy this series?
They're okay, but I like the books better. They have more detail.
Fair enough.
Excellent, another dazzling observation. Well, now, because it's the end of the series, one task which must perform is to reveal who won the most challenges, and I've got the results here in reverse order. Now, Jason and myself came joint bottom.
What?
With 2 challenges each.
How could that happen?
The crown has slipped.
I want a judicial inquiry.
Polly did massively better.
Oh,
she
did
won
I?
3 challenges. Well done.
Wow.
Great work, girl.
That's a turn up for the books.
However, she was comprehensively beaten by Otis, who won 5 challenges.
Nice. Oh, dog.
Nice. Leaves one name in the top place. Suzi, well done. You won 6 challenges. Excellent.
Really? A fix. But I'll take it anyway. That's all we've got time for this series. We've had an amazing time. We hope you've enjoyed it too.
The bang tidy news is that we will be returning with a new series in August.
And in September, we'll be celebrating our 200th show.
Yeah, I think the final word of this series should come from one of the series' most sophisticated gadgets. I am, of course, talking about Robo Jace.
Okay.
Robo Jace, what was your favourite bit of the last few weeks and months?
It wasn't as good as the ones before the fall.
Controversial.
See you next time.
See ya.